Hey, good morning, YouTube. I just finished taking this reflective foil out of my whole house fan air intake. I showed you how I put that in last fall, and now I have to do one more thing to get the whole house fan ready for the heat this summer. So let's go up in the attic and I'll show you what I have to do up there. Yeah, so pull down the attic ladder and we go up there into the attic, and I'll show you where the whole house fan is. Yeah, so here's the whole house fan. This is an AirScape model. On the side here I have the remote control receiver, and that works with the remote controls here. And I also have an in-wall switch version of the same thing in the hallway. But for that remote to work, you need to have the unit plugged in. So over here I have an outlet for that device, and here's the outlet. The bottom of the outlet is wired to my wall switch for the light in the hallway, and that also turns on the bottom half of the outlet. And I have a little wall transformer here that senses when that is on, and it turns on a relay that turns on my LED lighting up here. So I've got three 16-foot or 5-meter LED light strings, and that runs off of solar power. And then the upper half of the outlet is for constant power, and that's what I plug my whole house fan into. And the reason the fan was not plugged in is because I haven't needed the whole house fan, and because I have the wireless receiver plugged in, this whole house fan uses between 5 and 10 watts of power all the time to keep that wireless receiver running. For the course of a year, that could be 60, 70 kilowatt hours of energy just used to keep the wireless receiver alive. So this is the first week in June. I'll probably unplug it towards the end of October. So that's like 5 months that it'll be plugged in, and that will cut the standby energy use by more than half, and it doesn't cost anything. So that's a handy little tip if you've got one of these whole house fans that has a wireless receiver. Yeah, so this is the back of the AirScape fan. It's got the power runs into the main controller box up here, and then you've got the remote, which is an optional accessory you can buy. I really liked it because it made wiring the whole house fan quite easy. I just dropped the fan on the top of the intake box here and plugged it in. Didn't have to run wires to a switch. But the downside is that this little box takes between 5 and 10 watts as measured on my P3 kilowatt meter. Even if it's not being used, it still takes power. I was thinking if I'd put a Z-Wave type controlled switch here, switch rated for use up here in the attic, would cost around $40, and if I save maybe $5 a year of electricity, that would take about 8 years to pay off the cost of the switch. But I can just unplug it for half the year, and that doesn't cost anything. So the other issue with using a controlled switch is I would need to set up a schedule and figure out when to have this thing on in case I might need it, and when to turn it off. With the manual plugging and unplugging, when it gets hot, plug it in. When it cools off, unplug it. So yeah, if you have one of these whole house fans with a wireless remote on it, don't forget that that is probably using power 24/7, 365 days a year, and you might want to consider unplugging it when you don't need it. Yeah, the remote is a good thing, but there is a cost to it. It will cost you, $5 to $10 a year to have this remote active. Yeah, and then before I go out of the attic, I like to just check the whole house fan and make sure it still works. So here's the remote. I click a button, and there it opens up the louvers on the bottom. Or actually, that's on the bottom of the fan, but it's on the top of the air intake. And there we go. That's the low speed. And that's a pretty good breeze, and then this is the high speed. And then stop. That looks like it's all set to go. Just passing on those little tips. This is the third summer that I'll have this whole house fan, and it's really been a nice thing. So yeah, if you have any questions, put that in the comment section below, and as always, thanks for watching.